Welcome back to Morning Live, and right now we want to focus on matters mental health, and in studio I'm joined by Charlotte Kigezo. Of course, she'll be telling us more about the issues happening in the country, and they have been on the rise. Yes, recently you saw a Cuban, just a Kenyan doctor who was in school in Cuba just committed suicide. And trust me, from people around him, they say this was one joyful guy, ever smiling, and that means there's something amiss somewhere, and Charlotte is here to tell us more about this. Now, Charlotte,
Yes.
karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Now, the smiling faces out here, hiding problems, it's been the norm of mental, one of the key mental actually signs.
Yes.
And the hiding part is actually very kind of confusing. You won't even know that this person is going through something. But now, as much as we'll be focusing on solutions later, let's talk about now the whole issue of faking it. Why are people hiding?
Okay, the society we come from, we've all been told fake it till you make it. I think any of us who's come across society has had that statement, fake it till you make it. Because we live in a society where they will not accept the true you. They will not take you the way you are. And that's the reason to why if you're coming from a family of Christians and then one day you randomly wake up to your parents and say, I'm converting to Islam, or I'm no longer going to abide to any religion, officially you become a disgrace to the family. You are either banned from the family or you have family members no longer having a conversation with you. Now, because we've not come from a society of accepting everyone for who they are, even your own family does not accept you for who you are the minute you change from the normal manuscript that you were given or the idea that you were given to which you are to grow up in this certain kind of box. The society dismisses of you. Now, that's why most of us are faking it till we make it, because we are afraid of facing our family with the truth of who we are. Because you can imagine how many of us have ever sat down and had the conversation with our parents, and our parents are sincerely telling us, I don't have the money. Very few of our parents, we only see things either changing to the worst or to the best. And then we're like, oh, we're now doing good or we're now doing bad. But rarely do our parents actually sit back with us and let us know that we are going through this. So if our own parents do not allow us to be as free as possible with what we're going through in our lives, and that's by imitating through them, then we're definitely going to fake it till we make it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, the issues of people just pulling some stunts that are very mind-boggling. For example, the other day, the city lawyer actually killed his son. It said accidentally. And very unfortunate. He was later admitted. He was in shock. And of course, they mentioned the Cuban doctor. I also mentioned so many children. Of course, it's a school issue, committing suicide in school. And trust me, these are not news that you can actually wake up to, or maybe just try and have time to listen to. Even gender-based violence, there's so many things. Now, the control nature, whereby now, I know your surrounding plays a bigger role in terms of now people realizing there's a gap here and you have a problem. How should people around these people act or maybe try to help them here?
Okay, I feel one, we should always learn to neutralize the situation. Most of us want to act violently in situations like that. When someone tells you, I am going through this, the first reaction you want to take is, let's beat this person up. I always feel because of that action-reaction kind of society, we constantly have crime on the rise because someone feels, if my sister or my cousin was raped, I should beat up whoever raped them. Okay, fine, you've beat up the person who raped them, but the person you beat up has family. What if the family sits back and like, it's a revenge plot? So we are also going to come and attack your family. So there's a whole cycle of human beings that have not learned the art of patience. I know the art of forgiveness is one that people sit back and ask me, well, what do you mean I should forgive? This person hurt me. And yes, it takes time to forgive someone that hurt you. But I feel one of the ways as a society that we can deal with some of these things or combat with some of these things is we should learn to talk about them. We should not be afraid to involve the law or involve the right authorities, because if we take matters into our own hands, then what is the use of all the systems that have been set in place to deal with things like this? So yes, sometimes we sit back and we're like, okay, I should take matters in my own hands. When someone comes to you and says, a mother, probably the story of the maid who beat up a kid till the head exploded or something like that and burst. It's yes, we may not understand why she did that. We want to understand what made her did that. But at the same time, we cannot sit back. The mother will be very angry because this is my child. I mean, I carried this child for 9 months and this is how my child was meant to leave the earth. Not really. But at the end of the day, with the anger, how do we come up with solutions that are durable? How do we come up with solutions that are reasonable enough? And it's only until we get to a point as a society that we learn to communicate, we learn to talk, because probably this maid did something because there was something happening in the house. Yes, someone will say, the maid had no right, that's your job. Probably that's where the problem was. You tell me, this is my job, but then my job is cruel, and you're leaving me home with your child. You're literally trusting me, the person you're not treating so well, with your child. How do you think I'm going to react?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, there's a very scary statistic here. The number of young people being admitted to the Muranga County Referral Hospital has steadily on the rise. A psychiatric expert actually who works that there has revealed. Now, according to Angela Mudoni, the hospital has been receiving over 300 youth in 1 month. A number she says is alarming, adding that most of them are students in secondary schools and colleges. The pressure to achieve also comes in place, whereby family, you see your friends trying to, I always believe everyone has his or her own time to bloom, is it? Whether late bloomer, early bloomer, it doesn't matter. So, the pressure to achieve. Now, let's talk about the young lot who have so much pressure. Goodness, there's so much pressure out here.
Now, you see, we have... this pressure comes in more with our generation because of exposure. We have sat down and we're being given the internet, Instagram. We have the Instagram socialites who are making it from walking around naked. We have the ones who are currently encouraging that you can make money from sex, and then you have the rules and regulations that your families are set for you. You shall not bring a young pregnancy into this family. You shall not, as a man, you're meant to behave such a way. Now, there's contradiction in society because what we are putting out as made it, and what our families are telling us to get there to make it is where the road meets the rubber. Because you're having situations where you're telling your kid to work very hard in school, but then we have the Kylie Jenners telling you, no, just use your Instagram. You become a billionaire, self-made billionaire using your Instagram. Or you have, sorry to keep using the same family, Kim Kardashian release a sex tape. You make it in life. And we are forgetting to instill the constant reminder in our kids that your journey does not have to be the same as someone else. Your journey is different. We are in Africa. We cannot, yes, you might make it through a business. Yes, you might make it through being a socialite. Yes, you might make it through being a sex worker. Not that I'm against them or anything, it's their job. But still, your journey is different. Your journey to getting there, that is something we are forgetting to remind our children. We are teaching them money is more valuable than even your dignity. We are teaching our kids, it's important to have great friends, friends of a higher caliber, without even knowing these friends. And that's why you have situations of someone went hanging out with friends they barely know, and then we collected their body where? In a forest. Someone they didn't know what was going on, and because of this life that we are giving our kids, that you should be in a certain group for us to know you've made it. So why are many of these secondary schools? Secondary school is a very alarming time to start at, because many of us are saying you can make it through education, but then the school systems are a bit hard. You are not instilling, you're not telling your kids, I am proud of you, even with their C, so that they can feel, okay, if my father is still proud of me with a C, how would my father be proud of me with a B? How would my father be proud of me with an A? You're not giving your child the space of understanding that, okay, it's not that you are a C student. You can be a B student, you can be an A student. I just want you to take time and work through it. We're instead putting pressure. You are... I have paid fees for you. You have the responsibility of being an A student. Not everyone is meant to be an A student. There is a reason to why we have A to Z in the alphabet. I mean, someone has to take a position somewhere. But it doesn't mean the U student is not going to make it in life.
It's true.
How many, we know so many U students, our politicians, how many of them have come out and like, I've been a D student, but I worked hard. We should stop, it's about time as a society, we stopped branding someone because of what position you are in society, or what grade you took up in society, or what level of education you took up in society. Because until then, we will continue having students who are swallowing antidepressants without a prescription. You'll have students who are committing suicide or taking pills because, like I said, because of the internet now, it's very easy to Google, how can I commit suicide? And it's not like...
It's unfortunate.
Exactly. It's not like how to commit suicide is like porn, where you put a block on, my child should not watch this. Google is very easy to giving you the answers.
Does that mean we have a gap or a problem with the modern parenting? Because now, there's a problem also. The millennials, and you see, there are people who are born in 2001, from 1999, of course, still 80s, majority of the 80s also now, the whole group is kind of now within the 90s to 2000 and something over there. Trust me, when you see some, it's unfortunate. That means the aspect now goes back to modern parenting. Is there a problem over there?
Yes, there is. Luckily, you've brought this up. I was just having a conversation with, I think, number 4 parents. And they are young parents because they have young kids, 6, 5. And I always remind parents, you have only 10 years to raise your child. You have from the age of 0 to 10 to raise your child. Anything else you're going to teach the child after 10 years is going to be null and void. Because now they're in society. Now at the age of 10, we're either in class 5 or class 4. So meaning we have become more aware of our society. It's easier for them to learn from school than from you. It's easier for them to learn from their maid than from you. And now we're having parents who are ignoring the fundamentals of raising your kid. You feel, I don't have time to raise my own kid. I have to go to work. Fine. But have you ever taken your own child to work to see what goes on at work? Have you ever taken... Most of our parents, they feel, oh, because I've worked from Monday to Friday, I need the Saturday and Sunday. You are a parent. And parenting is the most important job on earth. That's the reason to why even the Bible considers family the greatest fundamental foundation of society. Because from the ages of 0 to 10, your child is imitating. Your child is listening carefully. Those are the times when their brains are actually listening to you more and watching what is going on around more. Parents have ignored that. They have ignored you. Yes, you worked hard to get to where you are so that your kid cannot suffer. But it is important to remind your kid, I worked hard. I got here because of hard work. And I had to take each day at a time and enjoy each moment at a time for me to get here. Just because I have the chance of providing for you does not give you the right to think that I am of a greater stature.
It's true, it's true.
Because yes, we joke about it as kids. We're like, I didn't ask to be born. But no, there's the responsibility as a parent that because you took up that chance and said, I'm going to raise this kid. I'm going to raise my son, my daughter. That doesn't mean we're no longer in a time where Africans, the community raised our kids for us. The community right now is very dangerous because of the global village that we have. We have everyone from anywhere becoming community, becoming family. You as a parent are number 1 family. You as a parent are number 1 friend. Of late, parents think we don't have to be friends. Yes, our great-grandparents were not our parents' friends. But that does, we are living in a society where if you're not a friend to your child, you miss so much.
You miss so much.
You wake up one morning and the innocent child, the 12-year innocent child is telling you, Mom, I'm 2 months pregnant.
Wow.
And then you have a parent looking, okay,
that's
no,
scary.
exactly.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
no.
scary.
Or like the system we had in our family where they said if anyone clocks 15, we are taking all of you to taste for HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
And then you take me and I'm like, oh, excuse me, madam, your child is HIV positive. How would you react as a parent?
Wow, very, very, very strong questions over there. But now,
Yes.
let's talk about bipolar.
Yes.
You know, we live in a society where people kind of, let me say, funny in a way. But at 10:30 a.m., someone is really smiling. At 10:35, trust me, it's like switch. It switched completely.
Yeah.
Like this person was smiling, laughing, talking to you in like this joyful mood. But 5 minutes later, even 2 minutes later, wow, this is not the same person you're talking to.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we ignore these things and people have problems out here.
Yes.
Should they seek help?
Everyone should seek help. But then our society has a bad habit of self-diagnosing, where because you read something on the internet, you conclude I have depression, I have bipolar, because my mood randomly changes or all that. But if you ever notice someone, because bipolar is two, there's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 means you are happy, mostly happy, and very few times you are sad, and it happens abruptly. Yes. Bipolar 2 is you're mostly sad and then randomly happy. Now each comes with its pros and cons, but then we are ignoring. I'm proud of where Kenya has reached, that we can have psychology conversations, that we can have mental health conversations, meaning the spectrum of psychology is wider now. You have more counselors, you have more psychologists, you have more psychiatrists, well educated, well equipped for this. I think it's about time we used them. It's about time we took advantage. We even have those who are giving you the chance to do the counseling for free, to do the diagnosis for free, to give your child the chance to know, okay, this is what's going on with your child. But then this also comes as an urge to the society, the counseling and psychology society, that it is important to not misdiagnose. Because there's so many of us who have become Google psychologists. We sit back and we're like, this one is happy, then this one is sad, this one has bipolar. Now what happens is, you tell me I have bipolar, I'm going to start acting like the symptoms, and yet I don't have them. I'm probably normal. I'm going through, probably I was experiencing trauma. I lost someone in my family. So once in a while it comes in my mind. I want to be in my own cocoon. And it doesn't mean I have bipolar. But it is important that when you notice someone whose behavior randomly changes, they get help.
Now, these guys who are combative and always protective, they territorial people, whereby now you can't tell them anything. And they can actually brush you off big time in a way that you'll even be surprised. Like you can suggest something, then they come up with a very funny, like just notion that you understand this guy is indeed, this person is combative. Can't accept correction. Like he or she knows everything. And then when you try to correct them, becomes war. This is also something that has been, especially young people who feel like they know so much. When you want to correct them, they feel like, I know this, you can't tell me anything. You can't tell me. So these people also, there's a category they're falling into. And trust me, the end result is always catastrophic.
Definitely.
They really suffer big time because they refuse to listen. And the combativeness kind of destroys them big time.
So you see, people like those, you can only communicate directly using someone they trust. Because for someone who has built a wall, they have built a wall for a reason.
The wall is the key word.
They've built walls for a reason. For example, if you're an adult and you've built walls, it's because you've built walls of the things you've experienced throughout your life. It's not that you're building walls because you wanted to. I mean, if all your life you've been having people using you, people robbing from you, people telling you things and you go with it, and then you get lost in the process. What happens is you start building your own innate abilities to cope with your life right now. Now, how do you deal with people like that? It's always important to communicate using someone they trust. For example, if I, Charlotte, have a wall up, there's someone I trust. My mother, my sister, my brother, my best friend. There's someone I can listen to. But then we also have a problem as a society. We always feel, for me to get my point across, I need to shout at you. And now already you have triggered something in my head. If you're going to shout at me, why should I listen? I mean, we've all went to high schools where you had this one guy. The minute they're screamed at, That's it.
I know.
You're not. But then, you ever notice when they meet that one person who talks to them in a calm,
the cool down.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Yeah.
You've
The
been
cool
doing,
down.
You've been doing
Yeah.
a few things.
Yeah.
We've been noticing. You notice when you change intonation and you get to the level of the person, the person, of course, the first 10 minutes, they might be aggressive, but then they'll notice, I am screaming, but this person is not screaming back. So relax. Now let's have a conversation.
Okay.
That's the problem with our society. Those are the things we're missing out on.
Okay.
The cues. And in psychology, we call them mirroring behavior.
Okay.
You mirror the behavior. You mirror the way you want someone to communicate with you. So if I want my son to listen, and I've always been beating my son and screaming,
Sure.
how about I change and calm down?
It's
How
true
about I
that.
say, Nick, come sit. Let's talk today. Tell me, how was your day? You have opened the gates to that wall. You have given the person a chance to open up a gate, have a conversation with you, and most of us, we should not always feel my point should be understood. That's the problem. We want to be assertive. We want to be aggressive. I'm always, no. If this person already has a wall up, you're just going to add a few more layers on that wall. So it is important you tell the person, okay, fine, let us talk. What do you think about this?
Okay.
Because I've noticed you've been acting like this, and I'm scared it's going to hurt you. So what do you think? Or what makes you feel that you should act like that?
Okay.
You will be amazed at the response you would get from someone like that.
Now, as we wind up, emulating, emulating sometimes can really bring into problems. Sometimes you're from different backgrounds.
Definitely.
Deep pockets, kind of some pockets, of course, not so well. But emulating someone who's kind of doing well, and you fall into this pressure of trying to be like them. This is the youths, actually. Secondary school and, of course, university, college students. It's taking a toll on them. Like, you have that shoe, I have to buy it. But you see, your own help. Your parents actually sending you something small every time on M-Pesa. But you want to live this upstandard life. And when you're unable, you go into this deep of depression. Like, some of these things, do you think we actually bring them ourselves? And also, the bigger picture, do we need people in our schools or the counselors in our schools just to talk about this?
We need counselors everywhere.
Okay.
In offices, in media houses. You should have a counselor.
Even media houses, guys are crazy here.
Everywhere. Because things like this, emulating. What was the first thing you were asked when a mentor came to school? Do you have a role model? Absolutely. Now, we've forgotten to teach our kids that role models are not people you have to emulate. Role models or mentors are people who guide you. Their story is different, but because you want to end there, I want to be a great psychologist, like probably my teacher, Dr. Ndegwa. But how did Dr. Ndegwa get there? What was his journey? Our stories are different. Probably he struggled to pay fees for himself. Doesn't mean my story should have the same. My God enabled me to go through school and someone paid for me fees. But that doesn't mean, okay, so if Dr. Ndegwa probably robbed somewhere at one point, I should also do the same. That is something we're forgetting to allow our kids learn. Most of us want, and when I say kids, I mean, for me, you and I are still kids because we have our parents. They're alive. They'll still call us and be, hey, Nick, today I saw you in TV. What was that? You get? But then, how are we having the conversations with our mentors, with our role models? What are they telling us? Emulation is not a must. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone gets there. Like you said, there are some who are late bloomers. There are some who are Justin Biebers. You make it early, but then look where Justin Bieber is right now. He's in depression because of how early he made it. He didn't have a chance to be a child. But then look at an example of Idris Elba. He made it late in life, but he is doing well.
In sports, you have Didier Drogba.
Exactly. Didier made it late.
32.
So it's not a must that we should all be Salahs or Manes. No. It takes you a journey. It takes you time to get there. And that's something we should learn to teach our friends, our kids, our age mates. It's a process.
Okay.
And until you understand that my process is built by how hardworking I have been, by how patient I have been, and we should learn patience.
Okay.
We're missing the patience.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Charlotte
You're
Kingis, for
welcome.
coming.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure to having you in having you in studio. So many people are learning about these things, and trust me, as much as society is kind of confusing at times,
Yes.
you're really making an impact, especially to the young people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
All right, that's all we had for you right here on Morning Live. My name is Nick Mudimba. Be sure to join Joyce, who's coming up next with Full Circle. Happy day.